But before we get up out of here, last thing on the menu, who's your MVP for this season, bro? It looked like Joel Embiid has kind of got the lead, but he did get hurt, I believe, last night or night before. Who do you feel like is the most valuable player of this 76 NBA season?
I think is going to steal. I think the Joker is going to climb back into that pilot that seat, man. I'm just saying, bro. So look at it, right? Embiid was able to take over Joker through play, consistent play, and propelling his team back into the spotlight. Because of Joel Embiid, that is what happened. Joel Embiid, during this time, Joel was winning. The Denver Nuggets was losing. Now, Joker was still putting up the numbers, but they were losing. Now that Denver is back on track and winning, Joker is putting up the same type of numbers consistently. He just missed another triple double last night by three assists. Now they're getting themselves back into that playoff that position. Joel goes down. It's still 10 games left. If Joker continues to play at that high clip, that's going to get him. That's going to put him back in the seat. Now, however, we was just talking about how certain things go. When you look at it, Joel Embiid, I was looking at this the other day. Joel Embiid has been the runner-up 2 consecutive years, right? Actually, more than that. When you take
he was robbed last year. Let's call it what it was. He was robbed last season.
I'll give you that. So he has been a runner-up consecutively. He has been a habitual runner-up the last couple of years. You got to think the 2 years in which Giannis won, the 2 years in which Joker won. Embiid has been the one sitting back in the background. If you look at the picture and blow it up a little, you see Embiid's face looking over the shoulder. Now he has put himself into first place in the rankings, so it would only feel right that he becomes the MVP for this year. I think it's going to tuss up, but I think if it isn't Embiid, it's definitely going to be Joker, and I think Joker is going to probably push back through with Embiid down. I don't know if Embiid's done enough to solidify and hold on to it for the last 10 games if he's going to be out.
You just going to disrespect Giannis Antetokounmpo like this? You just going to disrespect? You didn't even mention Giannis's name. You didn't even mention Giannis's name.
Giannis should have been there to begin with. If we should have been talking about Giannis Joker. It should have been a cold conversation with Giannis, the Joker, and Embiid. At one point, both of them fell off, and Joker was running with the baton, unabated, with no problem whatsoever. It took him to lose those games because he still put the numbers up. His team wasn't winning. Now both the Giannis and Philadelphia are winning. And Joker is winning now again. So that's why I'm saying why I think if they could win the last 9 or 10 games and Joker continue to put up his same triple doubles and get back, he's only 1 assist short of averaging a triple double for the year. We know what happened the last time a player averaged a triple double for the year. They were the MVP. If Joker can get back to a triple, they're not going to let Joker walk out the door, averaging the third player in NBA history to average a triple double the whole year and not get the MVP. Unfortunate situation.
First of all, Nikola Jokic being a 3-time consecutive MVP in the league that I love is a fucking joke. That's number one. Okay. I don't care about the stats, the analytics. Mm-hmm. We talk about the eye test, and I'm clear that the MVP is a regular season award. But when I watch how these guys stink it up in April and May after winning this award, it does no justice to the MVP. When you look at Giannis, when he won his 2, he came up so short in the playoffs. Nikola Jokic, he's won the last 2 times. I know Denver was injured last year. They was a little bit short, man, but he came up so short in the postseason. I do not like the most valuable player of the regular season stinking it up once we get to April and May. And to have a guy win 3 times in a row is ridiculous when I know he ain't really like that. I watched Joel Embiid give this nigga work last week. He got another chance coming up
this week. Yeah.
And it's about to happen again.
Yeah, they come up.
But let me say this. Let me say this about Joel Embiid. I think honestly, Trey, Joel Embiid winning the MVP this season will be the worst thing that could have ever happened to this kid. He needs some
Okay.
motivation going into the playoffs. And he gives me them Anthony Davis vibes. When Anthony Davis won that championship back in 2020 with LeBron, everything that he had, he seemed satisfied with. He was good with all the hunger. Everything went out. We still see AD giving his moments, but I felt like that AD they were looking to take over the Lakers in the driver's
famished
seat.
AD.
Yeah, that shit was gone once he won his little chip. I feel like because he got robbed so much, if Joel Embiid wins this MVP, he is going to embrace that so much. He's going to lose focus. Philly could get bumped in the first round, possibly the second round. He needs really a chip on the shoulder because James Harden, even though he's been kind of up and down, he damn sure got a chip on the shoulder. Doc Rivers has to have a chip on his shoulder when we talk about postseason play. I think those guys need all the motivation that they can get going into this playoffs. And I don't see an MVP actually motivating Joel because I'm not sold that Joel is mature. He's still, to me, an immature big guy. So
Here go Busher
I
with the
honestly,
BS. This dude, man, I swear.
I like Giannis, bro. I'm sorry. I like Giannis for the MVP. I like Giannis.
I wouldn't disagree with you there. I stood up and looked at the other day. I was like, Giannis is coming on strong. These Europeans is built different now, without a doubt. These Europeans is built different, and they are a problem to the average NBA player. And they continue to develop in a different way, and
Right.
they're just issues. Domantas Sabonis, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, even the lackluster, I'm not gonna say lackluster ones, the we are going Seti Osman, like the Bogdanovich brothers, like come on, the Wagner brothers, these
You're right.
Europeans is different, and they got if people don't pay attention, we're gonna look up and you're gonna see a lot of like 4 consecutive NBA MVP awards have been won by a European. However, as you stated, it doesn't amount to championships, but they are winning those awards, and that's something to hang the hat on as you look to build on. So even if it is Joel Embiid, that becomes 5 consecutive awards in which a European a
A
foreign
foreign player.
player has won the MVP.
The
And
NBA
when
is
you
doing that. The NBA is doing that bullshit. Like, let's be clear on that because I
okay,
spoke on that. Like, I feel like the NBA, to increase their global presence as a brand, they are
okay,
putting these international players at the front of the line when we talk about these MVP races and shit like that. It's not like the international player has to go from 100 to number one. These guys are being put in the front of the line only to lose the position. And I think the NBA is perfect because, like you just said, like the last 5 seasons, international players have been the MVP or the runners up. Really, no disrespect to those guys because they put up the
they
numbers.
put the work,
But
yeah.
I feel like in order to increase the global brand and the presence of the NBA, because like you said, this is a business. The international presence of the sport is so huge nowadays. So that's why you're seeing these guys, like you see guys like Sabonis and all these guys being talked about and praised so much. But once we get into April, once we get into May, and once we get into June, them guys ain't never nowhere to be found. Never. Don't forget, if you guys enjoy daily NBA content, do me a huge favor and subscribe, follow, and like the platform. Peace.
Okay, now AR with the cooler kick. Keep street, we run this shit. Fell back after run it up. Then my last bitch, she was dumb as fuck. Hop out, get the spraying something. Cause my last ops wasn't saying nothing. Whole stunting, big pimpin', whole hunting. 38 with the cooler kid in the mall with me like Joe Budden. These hoes front.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.